My name is Jared Stroobants. I'm with Leaves Inspired Tree Nursery and co-own the company with my father and my brother. And we've been nursery for coming on 8 years. And we produce deciduous shade and ornamental trees on about 47 acres. It kind of blossomed from the start of our company. Like I said, we've almost been a nursery for 8 years, and kind of our vision as a company was to be as efficient as possible and to produce a top quality plant. And in doing that, running a nursery with 47 acres, you kind of have to become efficient, and RFID was definitely at the top of our list to invest in so we could be efficient and spend our time at the top priority areas. So basically, when you look at nursery grower, you have plants, you have inventory items. So one of the goals that we had was making sure that we were accurate. And in doing that, RFID seemed like a really good fit. I don't know, every nursery is different, every grower is different in how you keep your inventory. But for us, having RFID from the start allowed us to maximize our accuracy and what we can push out the door and make sure that we're not stepping on our feet and just keep the communication clean as a business. It's helped us in that fashion for sure. We just wanted to be as efficient as we can and maximizing what our abilities are without taking on additional labor. So that's probably the biggest key is RFID has allowed us to reduce our labor needs. And everyone's feeling it the same way in the green industry. Labor is a big issue, and it seemed like a really good fit from the start. The ROI that I expect with Arbre is to allow us to spend more time on our inventory, our plant quality, and that drives the higher price points in the end to our clients. So, it doesn't always necessarily mean that. The market dictates a lot, but this working with Arbre at least gives us control of making us more efficient. So with the ROI in mind, we're going to have those Rivet Juniors for probably 20 years. I haven't seen them degrade yet. So I would expect after a couple of years that that initial investment is paid off, and then the extra years that you get with the software and the Rivet Juniors, I mean, you're just going to be working with profit after those couple of years of investment. The RFID it's done for us has allowed us to spend less time on worrying about what we have, and it's maintained high accuracy. So we don't have to be wondering, well, is it in this part of the field or that part of the field? We know there's a structure that we follow, and it starts with when we plant our trees, that tree has an identification on it. It allows us to track if we watered it, our pruning cycles, pretty much anything that you want to, you can track information with those trees. So it's given us more information and more power to control where our time is being spent. As mentioned before, we only have 3 people in the company. And we do bring in some help to plant, but really we're able to handle 47 acres, essentially 48 weeks out of the year, just with us 3. So, people work when the sun's shining. We do the same thing. But what we also do in the back end, and Arbre has allowed us to do, is work in the office at night when we're not able to work in the field. So, having that ability to stretch our day out longer and still accomplish the feats that we need to get done. I think that's definitely afforded us probably a full-time position that we don't have to hire on. I would say you just have to be willing to, make an adjustment in your company that in the long term is going to be better for it, as well as, just learning along the way and making sure that you can get information on the back end that you can use to make better business decisions. The labor issues, appear to always be here, and they might not never go away. But as far as the risk reward for taking on Arbre, I see very little risk and more reward. My father always said that change could and should be a good thing, especially in a business mentality. So you need to keep evolving as a business. And I think Arbre's package, along with the software and technology, that's just taking the next step in evolving as a company. If you look at other businesses and throughout the world, they're always evolving, and it's nice to be in that little comfort area, but you can't stay two-dimensional. So I think Arbre has opened up the door for nursery growers, green industry professionals to advance and adapt, because the world around us is adapting, and companies should as well. As a business, you have to make business decisions, but you need information to make those decisions. So what Arbre has done for us is it's allowed us to track information with the BI tool, growth curves, mortality rates, and then figure out what's our most valuable plant. What are we always selling out of? I talk to green industry professionals all the time, and someone always has their mind on what they have for inventory. It should achieve this size in this amount of time. It should do this, it should do that. Well, no one's really got concrete information. So with Arbre services, you can actually have concrete information that you can use and share if you wish, but prove that the decisions you're making are backed off of fact and not just thought.